going to be giving you guys a full run through of everything I did in Tulum. So I was only there for 5 days, but sis, we got a lot done. So just to name a few, we went to Rosa Negra, Casa Malca, Taboo, and Raw Love. So those are like some of the staple places my friend had on her list. So she was like super interested in Tulum, and I was like indifferent, like, you know, I was like, wherever we going, I'm with whatever. So she just had like a list, and we just followed her list, and we just went like to pretty much all of those places. So let's get into this video, and drop a comment down below if you have any questions, you want to know anything about travel. I am happy to answer. So let's get into this video.
Why do I look like E.T. with this? This is crazy, y'all. So much stuff. Oh my god.
Show you guys the Airbnb we stayed at. So there it is. I'm doing a little tour for you guys, and it was super cute. It was $300 and I believe $60 total, and we split that in 3. So for 5 days we paid basically $120 each. So like, what are you waiting for? Like, book your trip. So it was super nice. It had like a pool. The pool was shared, but I think there was like nobody else at the property, or like nobody else interested in the pool. So it was basically a private pool for us. So that was definitely lit. The place was a little scary because it had like 5 doors, and like, I'm a person where like I need to know where the exit is and the entrance, and usually if you're in your house there's only like 1 at most 2. So there was like 5. So I'm like, if we were to get like, you know, something would have happened, like this is so many places where people could come in from. But we stayed positive and we did what we had to do, and we turned out fine. So you're good. Next, so I'm just looking through my photos to see like what I took pictures of each day so that I can remember where I was. So the next day we went to like a beachfront restaurant. It was called El Pescador or El Pescado. Look at the Spanish, sis. There, it's there. All right, so took a couple like cute pictures there, so I'm gonna put that in there. I had the fish and chips, which was a bomb. Like, it was so good, but the portion was just like with a rest. So like, that was a little issue for me, but the food was super good, so I'm not mad at them. And then I had I don't remember what this drink was called, but I had this like super cute drink right there. At night we went to like this bar that was, it was like a pizza store, but it was like a bar. So we got like some little cute drinks there, so I'm gonna put that in there. So we kind of were just like free balling a little, because in spaces that we didn't have like an exact destination to go to, we just like went somewhere local. Like the taxi would be driving around, and we would just be like, okay, like we're gonna go here, or we would just walk and then like run into something. So I really like that. I'm like pretty much like a free spirit, so whatever's moving, like I'm with it. Like if it's safe and it's good, take me. All right, and next day we went through Gran Cenote. So I have a couple like little videos and pictures there. Check out my Instagram. I did take some pictures there, so go ahead and run it up. And let me just put like a little clip of Gran Cenote. That was fun. The next day was that the next day? The next day we kind of just stayed in. We had some drinks by the pool. I ended up like changing out of my clothes and jumping into the pool. So, you know, fun. And then my friends went and they like changed into their swimsuits and they jumped into the pool also. So we spent the rest of the night in the pool. So that night we went to Rosa Negra. So that was one of the restaurants on my friend's list. So it was super cute. They took your temperature before you walked in, so I'll put like a picture of that here. It was on the thumbnail of my last video, but I'm just gonna put it here so y'all can see it. So they take your temperature and they wear those like little mouth guard thingies that are supposed to be like masks, but they're not really doing anything. But we're gonna talk about that. And the food was super good, so I'm gonna just put a picture of my food. I had the salmon with sweet potatoes, and they brought like some popovers to the table before you actually ate. They have like a very large drink list, so you definitely will have options no matter like what kind of drinker you are. And what I really liked about the restaurants, they have the no contact menus, which like I see that New York is now doing, but Tulum been on it. Like, what are y'all doing? So you just like scan your phone on the barcode and the menu pops up electronically. Like, technology, hello. And that's perfect for me because I hate like when the menu, you know, when the menu's on the table and they either just like wipe it down and it's like laminated and it's all sticky and disgusting. Like, I can't do it. So we ordered, my friend ordered the churros for dessert. They were like just okay, but the salmon was bomb. And I'm so pissed because I left it in the fridge because I was like trying to save it, and then I ended up not getting to eat it before I left. So rest in peace to my salmon. I'm a tourist, so y'all already know, if you know, how we feel about food. So I'm still a little heartbroken, but that's over. And the next day we just took some pictures before we headed out to Casa Malca. So Casa Malca was like my favorite place. I just wish we weren't a little earlier because you pay $75 for like entry, but the best thing is the $75 goes towards your meal. So like, what? Like, it goes to your meal and drinks. So that was perfect. We got food. So I got the grouper like dinner, and I got I think like 3 drinks because your girl like to drink and your girl love a sangria. So I got the rosé sangria. Okay, so you guys saw me like get up and run away. I actually had to run and go plug my computer in because I was uploading a video and my computer was on 1% and I think it was like shutting down. I was like, if this video does not upload, I'm gonna lose it. So let's get back into that. So I'm gonna show you guys the tour of Casa Malca. So when you walk in, it's like a long walkway of like sand and like some greenery and like, you know, the wooden vibe that you normally see in Tulum. So we walk straight through there, and I'm just looking at my computer because I'm trying to like make this as informative as possible. So you walk through there and you first walk in and you pay your money. They give you hand sanitizer and they take your temperature before you walk in. You have to have on a mask at this point, I guess, because they want to make sure that you have one as you're going through the restaurant and hotel, because it is a hotel and a restaurant. So they do that, and then they give you like a ticket, and you have to keep the ticket. So don't think it's a receipt, it's a ticket. You have to keep the ticket and you give it to your server when you're ordering your food. So as I said earlier, I ordered 3 drinks and 1 entree, and girl, so we paid $75 to get in, but for some reason like on my end it says 68, so I don't know if they did it in pesos and then like when they did the conversion it ended up being less, but I'm not mad about it. And then I paid $40 extra in like just the extra money that I guess I spent between like the 3 drinks and the meal, which I don't know why that would be $100, but just so y'all know, bring your pesos because Casa Malca is not cheap. I think that was the most expensive place that we went to aside from Taboo. So bring your coins. I would also recommend packing like a couple outfits, like pack a bathing suit, bring like a towel, bring if you like taking pictures, you're like an influencer, I recommend like bringing at least like 3-4 outfits because you're gonna have pictures for days. Like, there's so many things to take pictures of there. I only had like I think 2 outfits, so I was just like, you know, I didn't really come for this, so I'm just gonna live in the moment. So I wasn't too mad about it, but I would recommend that you guys do that if you can. What else about Casa Malca? So they had like the infamous cause like statue with the hands over its eyes. So I took a couple pictures with that, and it's on my gram. So as I said before, run it up. And yeah, the drink was super good. It wasn't that strong, but like, you know, what do you really expect? Yes. So later that day we went to Taboo, which was also, I keep saying like all of them are my favorites, but I think Taboo was like my favorite with as far as like vibes, because Taboo was so nice. Like, it was so nice. It was like beachfront, and it was like like all open space. It was basically outside, but there was like a huge like umbrella thing over it, so like the whole thing was surrounded by the beach. They had like live music. This guy was he was playing the violin, and it was like so good. Like, I'm gonna put clips of it. He was so good, and he was like so entertaining, and he was just like, you could tell he really like likes his job. And I think that's what I enjoyed most about it, because it was just like good vibes everywhere. Like, it was just like so nice. The total that I paid for my bill there was $44, which is also kind of steep because I only got dessert and I think one drink. So like, get out, like, ooh, what are these prices about? But that was like, I think that was a 5-star, 4-star restaurant, so you know, like, what do you really expect? So I wasn't too mad about that because it was actually really good. Oh no, we also got an appetizer, so we got the rock shrimp, and I'll put pictures of that. So I'm gonna plug in my friend Danielle's Instagram like food page that she has, because she took like most of the food pictures, and her pictures just came out better than mine. So I'm just gonna plug that in there, and you guys can follow her. So shameless plug. But yeah, so that was really good. The shrimp was like, it was like $36, so like for 3 shrimp, so that's like $13 a shrimp. But the shrimp were like this. My hand is ashy. Wow, I came on here looking like this. It's because I've been using these chemical like peel wipe thingies on my face, and they've just been having my hands peel, plus like the hand sanitizer, you know, the Clorox, like, it's a lot. So yeah, the shrimp was like the size of my palm. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see in the picture, but it was huge. I was like kind of full off the one shrimp. So just to give you guys an idea of that. And as you walk into Taboo, there's like this really nice sign, so it's like completely lit up with flames, and it's just like, you can feel the heat like coming off of it. And I had to like actually cross the street so that I could get a good picture of it, because I was like, you know, I have to capture this. And I don't know what time they do it. I think it's like around like 9, so I would recommend getting there like for 8 and staying until like 11, so you get like the, I don't know if it was like fireworks or fire show, but they had like this whole thing, like it randomly just went pitch black, and then all you saw was like these fireworks or whatever, like whatever they're called, just like falling out of the ceiling like sparklers. And I was just like, wow, like we were not expecting this. After that, it got so hot and it was so smoky, and I was like, geez, like dang, y'all could have warned us. But it was so nice, and I'm wondering if they do that every night, because that's a lot of sparklers. And then like, I don't know, they like live for sparklers there, because like when someone has a birthday, they bring like everyone at the table sparklers. So not just the birthday person, like everyone gets one. And I actually had told them it's my birthday, but I guess they forgot, so we didn't get our sparklers, but whatever. And what else was at Taboo? It was really good. Like, they had a gin like mixology station, so if you're into gin, they have like a bunch of infused gins, and like just like random like alcohol, like pretty much like anything you can ask for and then some. So that was good. So it's definitely like there's something for everyone. If I go back to Tulum, I'm probably gonna go there in the daytime also, just because it's completely beachfront, and I would like to eat outside, because like I'm into like nature, you know, like earth sign, nature, hello. But yeah, so that was bomb. I think it's Hotel Ahau or Ahau Hotel. So it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you like are interested in Tulum, and you've looked up like even 5 pictures, I'm sure you've probably seen like the big I don't know if it's wooden or what it is, and it's like 2 hands, and it's like so Instagram worthy. So we went there, we had breakfast. I didn't love my food, but it wasn't like terrible, but it was just like I got pancakes, and I probably shouldn't have. But yeah, it was really nice. Also beachfront. Pretty much everything there is beachfront. So if you're someone who like likes the beach, you're gonna be at home there. And yeah, so we went there. What else did we do? So after that, we went to our first excursion. So we only did like 1 set of excursions, just because like I feel like everyone on the trip had already done excursions before, and that's not like really why we went there. So my friend Kiwi found a really good deal for $69 with Adrenaline Tours, and it included zip lining, visiting a cenote, ATVs, and rappelling. But we didn't end up doing the rappelling. I don't know why, like it kind of just like flew off the grid, and I was just like, kind of confused because, you know, we paid for it already. So I'm like, I want all my money's worth. But yeah, so it was fine. I would recommend shopping around for tours, like if you can look online or like try to get it, try to like find a tour somewhere besides like a hotel, or like, it depends on the price the hotel is giving. Because when my friend originally looked at it, the hotel was charging $100 for the same exact tour, and they were like badgering her about it, like, oh, you said you were coming, you didn't come, you no text back. And I'm just like, whoa, like we're a little aggressive here. So make sure you shop around. But yeah, so moving into the adventure. So I am afraid of heights, and I have also never ridden an ATV by myself. So these are two things that like I probably shouldn't have been doing. And wait, another thing, I also don't know how to swim. So usually when people go to Cenote, they know how to swim, because those things are deep. Like, I mean, like 25 meters deep. And the life jacket, like, it keeps you afloat, but usually like when you go on these tours, they don't have the best equipment. So yeah, your girl was like doing her little doggy paddle. I was trying my best to stay afloat, but I survived. I made it. I was like holding on to my friends at one point, but then I was just like, I got this. And I was just like doing what I need to do, paddling. And then after that, we went to the zip lining. So zip lining was after the cenote. So then I'm just like, girl, like, are we gonna dry in the air, because we were wet? So I was like, okay, let me take off my bikini bottom so that like at least I won't be wet at the bottom, and then my top will just dry. So I recommend bringing a pair of water shoes for that, or like some sneakers you don't care about, because sandals are not ideal, because if you're doing like a series of activities and one of them is zip lining, your shoes probably gonna fly off if you have on like flip-flops. So definitely try to get some water shoes. I had some like old ones that I got in Jamaica, so I brought those with me. So yeah, and I think they were selling them for like $10. And another thing, make sure you have your waterproof phone case, because things get a little crazy. You don't want anything to get on your phone. You can take your phone in the water. They do sell them there, but it's always cheaper on Amazon. You can get like 4 for $10 versus 1 for $10. But yeah, if you have no choice, obviously you have to buy it from them. But so that was pretty much that. So we went zip lining. So I'm gonna show you guys the trek to the zip lines, because I was scared, because I'm like, I've been zip lining, but I went to Cabo before, or Los Cabos, whatever, and I did like, I think one zip line, and I was just like, I'm over it. Like, I can't do it. I'm super afraid of heights, but I go on roller coasters. Like, don't even ask me, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so I was just like, bro. So here's a clip of the 4th zip line. So this was the highest one. So at the last zip line, look at it. You have to go up there and then come off. It's crazy. And the most nerve-wracking thing about this is that the steps were like all wooden, and you could see through the panels. So I'm just like, yo, like I can literally fall through. So I'm like walking up the steps, trying like not to psych myself out. Like, I can't really fall through the steps because I can't fit, because they were like kind of close together, but not really, like you know, gravity, hello. So I'm just like, you know, like, so I started telling my friend, and I'm like, I'm coming down, like I can't do this, like this is too much for me. And she was like, no, go, you need to go. Mind you, sister's scared too. She's like, no, you need to go, you need to stay serious. I'm just like, all right. So I'm like holding on for dear life to the like railings, and I like, we're getting higher. I'm feeling like the air's getting colder, and I'm just like, you know, like, is this what the end feels like? Like, you know. So I asked the guy, he's like in front of me, like the guide, and I'm like, can you hold my hand, because I can't do this. And then he's like, no. And I'm like, well, I don't know what we're doing. I'm about to turn back. So then he takes his like harness and he clips it to mine. So I'm like basically attached to him. So like I can't go down, because he's holding me up. So I'm like, okay, like a little better. And then he's like, just don't look down, just don't look down. So I'm like, you guys see, like, I'm just gonna stop talking. So this is what happened. And I was just like, you know,
Chinara, say hello.
This is nuts. But yeah, so I get up there and I'm hanging on for dear life, and I'm like, yo, I'm not letting go of this. And then he's like, I was supposed to go first, but I ended up not going first because I was just like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. So I went like fourth, and it honestly wasn't that bad because it wasn't super fast. I guess because it was so long, and it was like, it didn't have that much of an incline, so it was just kind of like, ooh. But when you got to the end, they dead had to drag you. Like, I'm like, yo, like, y'all couldn't get the full zip line? Like, what's this about? So, yeah, just watch that clip. But yeah, so.
Yep, Chinara, yes. She looks, man, look at the way she looks. She looks shook.
Next, we went to the ATVs. This is when it got crazy. So, I'm riding the ATV, and I'm like, this thing is I guess all like twisted to the side, and I'm like, you know, I really don't feel like I have control of this. And I've been driving, like, I've had my license for, I want to say, almost 6 years. So I'm just like, you know, like, this is nothing like a car. So then he did tell us that he's like, this is not like a car. And mind you, you don't need a license to drive this thing, which is, to me, is like kind of nuts. But he was like, it's not like a car. And I'm just like, well, there goes my knowledge of whatever is about to take place right now. So then he's just like, just drive. He didn't tell us to avoid rocks. Just want to put that out there. He did not tell us that. And I'm thinking, like, look at the size of these wheels. They can go over some rocks. So I'm driving, and then I end up crashing my ATV. Into the bush, which ended up being a cliff, and I literally like was basically almost ejected off of my ATV, and I'm like seeing where I'm headed, like down the cliff, and I like come to a halt, and my ATV is like literally like, this is the cliff and my ATV is like this, and I'm just like, this is not real. So then I hear my friend Kiwi, she's like, and I'm just like, yo, like, I'm like shook, like, this, nothing like this has ever happened to me. I'm just like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, what is going on? So like, as my thing is tipping, I don't know, at some point I'm like hanging onto the trees. Like, this is me on the trees, and I'm like trying to keep my weight off of the ATV because it was literally gonna fall off the cliff. So I'm just like,
yo, like, is this the end? Like, for real? Like, is this it? Like, is this all she wrote?
Like, so then my friend is like up here, she's like up the cliff, and she's like, you know, I thought this was the end of your days. And I'm just like, well, so did I. Like, so did I. So then she's like, puts out her hand, and she's like petite. So I'm like, girl, like, how the hell are you gonna pull me up? So I'm like holding her hand, but I'm like holding the ATV because I'm like, I know she can't support my weight, and I'm not trying to pull her down here with me. So she ends up helping me up, and I'm like pulling myself up, like one hand on the tree, like my foot on the ATV, and one hand on her hand, and I'm like literally crawling out of a bush right now. The fly, it can't work. So then I'm just like, wow, like, this is nuts. So I come out of the bush, and I notice that my friend Danielle is not behind me, like where she was before. And I'm like, you know, so much time has passed, like, she's not behind me, she's not in front of me. So I'm like, where's Danielle? So then I turn around, and sis pulls up on the back of the instructor's ATV, like, oh, I crashed into a tree. And I'm like, what? Like, so she crashed the same time as me. Her whole like arm is like just like scraped and bleeding. She's like, oh yeah, I just crashed into the tree. And I'm just like, so we crashed at the same time, because like nobody came to come get me from the bush besides my friend, because I'm assuming they were already preoccupied with the first crash, which was, I think, her crash. And I'm just like, how did we crash at the same time? So then my ATV privileges were revoked, and I could no longer drive the ATV. and they were just like, yeah. So I had to ride on the back of the instructor's ATV, and I was just like, this feels so lame. Because you drive past everyone who you started with, and they're like, yo, where's
the ATV? And I'm like, it's in the bush.
but yeah, so it's funny now, but when it happened, I was like literally like, that was probably like the most scared I've ever been, because I literally thought I was gonna die. But yeah. So I don't know, if you don't feel comfortable, get off the ATV. Don't even waste your time. Alright, so what's next? So I told you guys about Raw Love, El Pescador, Rosa Negra, Casa Malca, Taboo, and also my friend stayed at the Copal hotel. So I recommend you staying there, like if you have the flexibility to do that. Just if you don't have a bunch of people and you just like accommodations better, because the mosquito situation is like so bad, and it's like bad everywhere, but it's even worse in Airbnb because they don't have, like, as I said in my previous video, so make sure y'all go and watch it. They don't have like the obligation to spray the area of like pesticides and stuff. So it's just like, you just kind of on your own. So bring your off, bring whatever you have to bring the Coleman that I recommended, and yeah, like bring all your stuff because you're gonna need it. So I would say this trip ran me less than $800. So it was about $150 for the Airbnb, and I'm just rounding up, about $150 for the Airbnb. My flight was less than $300, so it was about like $296. So that's what's that, like $400. And then I only changed $100 in US to pesos. And another thing, when changing your money, make sure the exchange rate is good, because the day we got there, it was like 18 pesos to 1 US, which is not a good deal, and I didn't know that. I don't know, I should know this from traveling, because in Jamaica it varies a lot, but my friend was like, oh, it's just pretty much the same, and I'm like, so make sure you check that out. Make sure that you're aware of the exchange rate, because we didn't realize until we were going to restaurants and they were like $22 in pesos is actually equal to 1 US dollar, and I'm just like, what? Like, we didn't know this the whole time, so we kind of spent like the whole trip calculating wrong. So make sure you ask wherever you are, like how much a US dollar is worth in pesos. But yeah, so next cost, I would say for total in food, we spent around maybe $200, $250. So what are we at already? We're at $700. And then, like, you know, you want to have emergency money. So I did take out $300 cash, but I only ended up spending I think like $200 of it just like on taxis and stuff. So another thing that I would recommend is that you hire a driver or you rent a car, or you could just wait and take taxis like us. I noticed that a lot of the drivers in Tulum, they were like getting lost. So I'm just like, do you like not live here? Like, you know, they were like really getting lost. Like, even with the GPS, I don't know if it's like the terrain of the area where it doesn't like pick up all locations, so it'll literally tell you to like turn into the bush. So like, you just gotta make sure that you're paying attention. And it gets really dark at night, and some of the roads are like dirt roadish. So I would say if you're not comfortable driving, or you're a new driver, don't drive there. I didn't drive there just because we never went to go pick up the car, and I was just like, you know, maybe it's best that we don't drive, because I want to drink and, you know, I want to have the most fun. The average taxi ride was like 300 pesos, so that's about like, so I'm gonna do that based on the conversion rate of $20 just to like meet in the middle. So that's about $15, like I said. So splitting it between 3 people is like $5 each, but it was like each way, so it kind of added up. So if you can get a driver, as I said before, hire a driver, and you'll probably save a lot more money. Or like, even if you decide to drive yourself, the rental was like $76 for 5 days for a Jeep, and like a sedan was like $30. So it's cheap out there. And they definitely do try to get you to rent a car, like from the airport. They like swarm you, so keep that in mind. So something that nobody told me about that I thought I was avoiding was Montezumas Revenge. So that's basically like traveler's sickness / diarrhea / like messed up stomach. So we came back and like everything was fine, and my skin, like, I don't know if you guys can see, my skin is like wild right now. I don't know, I think it was the water there, but Another thing about staying in an Airbnb, but my friend stayed in a hotel and she said it didn't make a difference. Honestly, when I stayed in Cabo, I didn't have this problem. I'm telling you, when we came back, like starting on the plane, I literally had to use the bathroom on the plane, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, literally, what is going on? Because like I don't usually have these issues, and now I'm thinking about it, I'm literally an idiot because I did bring Imodium and I did bring Pepto-Bismol, so I should have made use of one of the two. But yeah, like I had to use the bathroom on the plane, and I'm just like, is this real? Like, seriously? But thankfully the plane bathroom was clean because... But when I got home, me and my friend, we were texting, and she's like, is your stomach messed up? And I'm like, yo, from the plane, it's been real. Like, since the plane, it's been real. So she's like, yo, my stomach is finished. So this lasted like a week and a half. Like, and then like, I want to say it stretched 2 weeks because, you know, your body has to get back to normal. So this is like the second week or the third week that I'm like, okay, like, I think it's over. So we've all come to the agreement that like it's something that you probably can't avoid. We did brush our teeth with water bottles. We used the water brand Crystal. We did like everything we needed to do with water bottles. We didn't drink the water at all, and we still ended up in the same situation. So I don't know, if you want to take that risk, then go ahead, head over to Mexico, head over to Tulum. It was worth it. I'll take Montezuma again for a good time, period. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the places that we went to in our like short 5-day trip. And I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I tried to go over as much as I could without this video being too lengthy, but the ATV story just makes it like even longer. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or you want to know anything or you want like more recommendations, just drop a comment down below, or you can DM me on Instagram. There's my Instagram right there, and I'll be happy to answer and help you guys out to plan your trip. You can definitely do this trip for less than $700 for sure, because a lot of people rent Airbnbs and they just cook there. So you can definitely do this trip on a budget. And it's just a good place to go. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, like everyone's in Tulum, it's whack and it's the new Miami. You're a hater. Like, you're dead a hater. Like, it's crazy. Like, why are you so worried about other people? Like like, what does it have to do with you? It doesn't matter how many people are going there. Like, literally so many people are going there and the price hasn't went up. Like, so why are you mad? Like, tell us why you mad. But yeah, so 100% recommend it. Check it out, and I have more travel vlogs to come as soon as outside opens back up. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as I already said, and I'll see you guys in my next video.